Hey guys, it's Lauren here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is honestly a little long overdue. See, I did a booktube newbie tag before and I just didn't do it properly. So I do already have a booktube newbie tag, but it's just, it doesn't actually answer any of the questions or give you that much info about my life at all. So a year later, after officially starting my booktube channel, I decided that I'm actually going to do the booktube newbie tag. So yeah, I will actually be answering those booktube newbie tag questions in this video. I guess this is kind of a get to know me video, booktube version. It's a little awkward that I'm doing this a year later, but I just didn't know. I didn't know there are actual questions. Anyways, that's fine. Now I know. Now we're making this video, making up for lost time. Happy New Year, by the way. Wish you all the best in your new year. Hope you get your resolutions done, all that other stuff. And let's just get right into the video. This is the journal where I kept all my questions. In case you didn't know, I'm a Haikyuu fan, by the way. Oh, since we're at this, let's just get into the basics, right? So hi, I'm Lauren, obviously. I'm 18. I'm currently in college. You don't have to look far in my channel in order to figure out what college I go to. I'm a Slitherclaw. My Patronus is a mare, which I didn't know what that meant at first, but I looked it up. It's basically a horse. I think it's dope, whatever. What else? Like part of the Fire Nation. I'm a Sagittarius. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's get to the actual questions. The first question is, why did I start this channel? It's a very good question, actually. So I didn't know what the fuck booktube was, honestly, until a little over a year ago, and that's about the time I figured I kind of wanted to have my channel actually be a booktube channel, because if you scroll far enough in my channel, my videos before were just basic YouTuber vlogger stuff. So I figured that out around the end of 2019, and I didn't know what the fuck booktube was until a friend kind of just showed me what it was. And this friend, she had a booktube channel as well. She doesn't really have one anymore, but she's still active in, fandom things, so that's her thing. But she showed me her booktube channel and I watched her videos because she was my friend, obviously, but also because I just found them pretty interesting, because I used to enjoy reading a lot up to middle school, and in high school it kind of got ruined, somehow I got out of the habit. But I watched her videos and then I ended up watching more and more booktube videos, and I ended up realizing that I kind of wanted to do it. And around that time I didn't even really know that many big booktubers, or I didn't really know any booktubers that I liked. I just knew that I wanted to create a booktube channel because I knew it was a subject that I enjoyed. I love talking about books, I love fandoms, I love all the other stuff. So I figured I might as well make a channel centered more on it. It's not entirely about books, but it's mostly about books. So yes, this is a booktube channel. So yeah, my 2020 resolution, I believe, was in order to read more. And this is right after I ended up finishing the Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance books. And Tomi Adeyemi ended up becoming a new favorite author of mine, and it just inspired me to want to read more. Because after you read a good book, you kind of just want to do more of that same things. After you watch a good romance movie or a good TV show or something like that, you want to watch more TV shows. So that was kind of what happened to me. And I remembered how much I loved reading in middle school and elementary school, and I wanted the magic of that back. So I wanted to start reading again, and I figured I might as well make it a core part of my channel while I'm doing it. Okay, so question number 2. What are some fun, unique things I could bring to booktube? So for one, like I mentioned before, my channel is mostly just a booktube channel, but I like to add in different things. For example, I like to do college vlogs because obviously I'm in college a little bit, and I like to mix that in to some of my reading vlogs. I kind of have a series already that I'm kind of continuing this year. I kind of stopped when I started school again, but I want to continue it, and I called it the Miseducation of Lauren Chi videos, which focuses on kind of historically relevant topics concerning Black people in Black literary text. So yeah, I did one on Toni Morrison's Beloved, and I did another on Children of Blood and Bone itself. Both books that I loved and adored, and I decided to deep dive, analyze them, and the topics that they kind of bring to the forefront that involve the Black community. So that's one. That's one of my things. I also want to do kind of a new version of a TBR. I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to flesh this out in a good way. I mean, I'll try. I'll definitely try. This kind of a new idea I have that I want to try out this year, and I'm gonna call it Books with Good Looks, I believe. And I'll either involve makeup and clothes, and then books that I want to read for the month, or at least books I'm looking forward to reading for a certain time period, because I'm not sure if we'll be able to do TBRs every month, but it's a thing I want to start. And then another thing that I want to add that'll make this channel probably kind of fun is I want to do more of those like those fun booktube videos that don't actually involve you having to like read or give recommendations, but it's more like reading like bad reviews of books that you loved or reading good reviews of books that you hated. And another thing, I'm really into anime and manga now, so yeah, that's kind of the new thing that happened in 2020. So I want to incorporate that as part of my channel as well. So it'll be a wide variety of things. I'm trying to make my channel more creative and also still do the standard videos. But yeah, mostly I'm gonna do reading vlogs. I definitely want to start doing more sit-down videos that are more creative as well, because those are pretty much easier to film and edit, and I'll get them out to you guys faster. So yeah, and yeah, that's well, all I have for funny new things I'm gonna bring to booktube. We'll see how they play out, but I'm pretty excited for doing them this year. Okay, what am I most excited about for this new channel? Yeah, this channel isn't new. It's been around for over a year now, but the not so booktube newbie tag, right? That's basically the sum of all of this, what I'm doing. Kind of awkward, but you know, we're gonna do it. It's a new year, I'm gonna do it. But basically what I'm most excited for, I'd say, I feel like I'm still growing my booktube channel, but like one of my favorite things about it, one of the things that I find most exciting is actually interacting with other creators and figuring out whether or not they like books that you like. Yeah, being part of the booktube community, I think I love the most is actually like interacting with other people on it and discovering new books and people that like the same books that you like. Question number 4. Why do I love reading? That's an easy question. This year especially, or at least like the last year especially in 2020, I think I discovered once again why I enjoy reading so much. And it's because it kind of allows, like, first of all, like the magic of words is really amazing to me. And for one, like words can take you into a different world. You know, like I really like reading fantasy books. So I like when words can really just like make me see it within my own like eyes. I almost feel like I'm part of that world now. And then for another thing, I like it when I read lines that really resonate with me. In all the books I like, I feel like there's at least one line I could point to where I just like, that shit hit me in the chest and I felt the need to highlight it or write it down. I'm still kind of afraid to annotate books because I don't want it to feel like school, for one. And for another, I just don't want to ruin like the book. But I think I'm gonna start doing that because there's some lines I just think I'm gonna be able to pinpoint immediately off of a book that I just read. So I think I'm gonna do that. But I really enjoy the feeling when I get immersed into a new world or a new story and I just instantly fall in love with the characters in the world itself. It just like takes me away from any troubles that I may be feeling. It relaxes me. I don't know. I just don't think there's a cooler feeling in the world than being, you know, basically transferred into the author's world. Yeah, I think it's one of the coolest feelings in the world, and that's why I love reading. Okay, number 5. What book got me into reading? So yeah, the first book that got me into reading was Percy Jackson. And I think what really got me is the first line, which is like, I remember I took creative writing class and our teacher told us to bring in our favorite first line of a book. And I still remembered it to this day. And that was after a year. Like I haven't reread Percy Jackson since probably like middle school. And the first line, I remember it so clearly, is like, look, I didn't want to be a half-blood. And I think it's just the coolest shit ever. Like that first line got me in, and like what I was talking about, it just hooks you into the world instantly. Percy Jackson was one of those books that was like equally funny and just like infiltrative into your mind, and it was very profound. It really connected to me personally as a reader. Yeah, it was the book that got me into reading. It was the first book that I read after my teacher, like I used to be shit at English in elementary school. I was shit. I was like complete like ass at English. I was actually better at math, which is kind of ironic because it's flipped now, but I probably wouldn't be better at English if I didn't discover Percy Jackson when I was a kid, and I just instantly realized that reading was actually cooler than I thought. So yeah, Percy Jackson's awesome. Probably the first fandom I was ever a part of. I loved it. I loved it so much, and I'm gonna actually reread it this year. Be on the lookout for those reading vlogs. It's definitely gonna be entertaining because it's one of my favorite books of all time. That's it. Yeah, the book that got me into reading was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Number 6. What are my favorite booktubers and what would I ask them? So I'm not entirely sure why I would ask these people, but I definitely will probably list my favorite booktubers right now. Ashley from Bookish Realm, Cindy from Read It with Sydney, Chanel from Chanel Time, Naya from Naya Reads and Smiles, and is there anyone else? Oh, recently I discovered this other booktuber. She's kind of like quickly becoming more popular. It's Emmy, I believe, like E-M-M-I-E. I'm gonna show all these people on the screen anyway. I don't know, I'm spelling it out. But I recently discovered hers, and though she gives a different vibe, and I think we're different kinds of readers for the most part, I really love how peaceful her videos are. So yeah, that's another thing. But all of these people, I really admire their content just because they make reading actually seem exciting to me. Because I remember when I was first watching booktube and figuring out whether or not I wanted to be a part of it, I felt like a lot of the videos were kind of boring to me, which is kind of wild to say. Y'all aren't boring, I promise. But it felt like a lot of the videos were like boring because it felt like, why would I want to watch someone just like sit in front of a fucking camera and talk about books and it being like the most fucking dry way possible to me. I don't believe that anymore. I'm perfectly content with like listening to a video or something while I'm like washing dishes or whatever. I'm fine with watching those videos now. But when I was first going in, I was like, why would I do this? But the booktubers I just listed, they gave really good suggestions. For one, I really like the recommendations, and for another, they just made reading seem more interesting because they weren't trying to be someone they're not. Like, you could clearly like get a sense of their personalities through their videos, and I really enjoyed that personally. I love all of that. So yeah, those are probably the most inspiring and engaging booktubers for me now. But I want to actually start watching smaller ones, and I think I actually do watch one. It's Haley Reads. I like her videos a lot too. I find them really soothing. She has good recommendations. I love her videos as well. So I'm just gonna find more smaller booktubers like that because I want more favorites. I want more recommendations. I want more booktubers on my feed. So yeah, that's why those are my favorite booktubers. And what would I ask them? See, like, I wouldn't really ask them anything other than to keep doing what they're doing, because of them I feel more engaged with the booktube community again. And yeah, so 7. What challenges would be the hardest to overcome? I think again this goes back to like how I felt about booktube originally, because I used to think it was kind of boring. I think the most challenging part of being part of booktube, or like being new coming into booktube, is finding a way to make your content engaging, creative, and, you know, not entirely boring, like just sitting in front of a camera and just, you know, fucking talking, which is like, that's completely fine because, you know, we're basically giving recommendations. But you want to find ways, like you can do like sit down talk videos and just talk in front of a camera like I'm doing right now. But I feel like one of the things that like really matters is just finding some way to just engage your readers and to make them smile while they're watching your content, or just like really enjoy what it is they're seeing on their screens. Like, that's basically probably the hardest part. The hardest part is to make yourself not sound like a teacher or like someone that's lecturing you, but to sound like a friend that's actually giving you a book recommendation. Like, that's kind of the way I try to go off in my videos. Sometimes I may sound like a teacher in some of my videos when, you know, like the deep analysis ones, but for the most part I just want to sound like a friend. That's basically the goal there. When did I start reading? I started reading, like I said, I read Percy Jackson, and that was probably in like 3rd grade or some shit. How old are people in 3rd grade? Like 7? 8? I was young. I was in 3rd grade. Yeah, I've been reading for a while. It's just, I guess I was on a hiatus. Somebody pronounce it hiatus? Like, you know, when fan fiction writers say that they're on hiatus, yeah, I was on hiatus for like 4 years, and then I got back into reading again. So yeah, that's what happened. Where do I read? That's easy. I read on my bed or just somewhere in my room on a chair or some shit. I can basically read anywhere as long as it's not mobile. Like, if I'm in a car or a train and it feels just awkward and uncomfortable, I think I like the feeling most of me reading in my own quiet space. So yeah. Okay, last question. What kind of books do I like to read? That's pretty easy. I like fantasy, anything in fiction, really contemporary. I've discovered that I'm actually a fan of reading romance, so there's that. I'm slowly discovering that. Speaking of, I just finished Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and that shit was phenomenal. Art. Literally art. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Yeah, I think I'm also slowly getting into thrillers and mysteries. I've yet to find like a favorite after Gone Girl. Actually, that's a lie. One of Us is lying. I mentioned these in my best books of 2020 video, so if you haven't yet, check that out if you want. But other than that, I haven't really found a thriller I really like yet. But I just picked up in one of my older videos, someone recommended No Exit, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick that one up. I already bought it, so I'm gonna read that and I'm gonna see what I think of it. But yeah, definitely a plan on reading that this month. So yeah, that's actually everything. That's everything. There, we've cleared the air. Everything's out in the open. Yes, that's the actual booktube newbie tag. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, you should like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my medias. I'm posting more on my Instagram and my Twitter. I always post on there, so you should follow me on both of those. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.